We are going to have our first rate cut tomorrow. Less than 24 hours until we see our first rate cut. And I will explain what will happen to the market, how Bitcoin would react if we see the same thing that happened from 2019, start of almost August, even July, down to 2022 April. Because I will show you what happened within this time, how much we went down, what can happen to Bitcoin, and how many percentage we can expect to go down. I will also talk about Bitcoin miners. We had someone asking me to review this and the profitability, and is it even worth it to mine Bitcoin. We will talk about some data in here. I'm going to also cover USDT dominance in monthly chart and smaller time frames, and we will also review S&P 500 after a while, and I will tell you what I'm expecting. I will also talk about one of the gems that I told my members that it took off and it did 3x, more than 3x, and this is my members video, from 18 cents to 70 cents. You do the math. I am not saying that all the coins that I have given them have done this, but these are the coins that we are expecting them to do good. I am not telling you to buy any of these, but I will just give you some examples how you guys can find these kind of coins, or just join the membership and you guys can join the team. So if you are new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. We are almost getting to 2,600 subscribers, and we have been getting a lot of people visiting this channel because you guys have been liking these videos that I have been posting. You guys do not know, have no idea how much power you guys have by liking these videos, and if you found it helpful, share it with others so YouTube knows and the YouTube algorithm works for these kind of videos and push it to others. So please consider liking the video and support the channel anyhow you can. And let's jump right into the video. Based on this chart, it shows that from July we started getting the rate cuts down to April of 2020. And if I want to show it on the chart, what happened was Bitcoin was around $12,000. It was around July, and we started getting the rate cuts, and Bitcoin crashed down to almost $3,300 before starting to go higher. And you guys can completely match it with the timing, although everything was just going sideways for the rate cuts, and we started going higher on the rates. Now we are going to have another rate cut, and it will be Fed's goal most likely to get back to 2.5, 2.6% eventually. So if we have the same thing that happened in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, we would not want to see what will happen to Bitcoin. So let's just do some math in here. Pay attention, please. So from here, let's just say that from $12,000, we went down to $3,300. And that was 73, almost 74% to the downside. Now, if we want to consider that we're going to have our first rate cut tomorrow on 18th of September, what will be expected is we should have a lot of volatility waiting for the market. And I hope not that we will see the same thing, almost 70-something%, and that would take us exactly back to our lowest low that we had before starting this bull market. That would bring us back aggressively down to almost $15,000 area. And S&P has been making higher highs, and this is the monthly chart for it in Heikin-Ashi chart. And I would not be surprised to see another dive down before going higher. But how much we can go lower, I would not be surprised if we go down to at least touch this top, previous top we had, because we have not touched it in monthly candle. Does it have to happen? No, it doesn't, but data does not lie. Every time we have these kind of drops, we see market reacts. So if S&P 500 goes back down to retouch its own all-time high, previous all-time high, around $4,800, that would bring down S&P 500 from its current price 13 almost to 14%. But 14% does not look that much comparing what happened when we had the same thing for S&P 500 that we just reviewed for Bitcoin. Around these areas, we had the same reaction for S&P 500 crashing from almost $3,400 down to $2,200 almost. That was 35% crash. So if we want to consider the same thing for S&P 500, 35% will bring down S&P 500 down to its lowest, exactly, almost actually the same area that Bitcoin has started bottoming and going higher. And truthfully, if we really do not want to ignore this cycle has been very weird and totally different than before. Before we had our halving, we had not touched the all-time high, previous all-time high, but we did it this time even before our halving. And that's why I was mentioning that there is a huge possibility that we keep going down until we get a better support. And of course, it was matching where we had touched this white line for USDT dominance. And if you do not know and you are new to this channel, this line has never been broken heavily and it has not been down any of these candles. Every time we had this touch to this white line, we had a bounce pretty strongly. So you guys see that exactly I called this bottom around this area for this red line that you guys see and this white line at the same time. And that's how you guys see that a lot of altcoins started bleeding. Whatever ROI they had given to people, they started getting them back. And if you want to consider that this red line is a very strong support for USDT dominance, that cannot be a lie, because every time we had hit to this line, we kept going higher, but we finally broke. So this area could be a good resistance. So we can start going lower, but the rate cuts might take us even further up. And the first hit I am expecting to go to would be almost 7%. I hope not that will be the case, but if we do not want to ignore the rate cuts and what happens in the charts, usually we need to really consider that can be a possibility. So about the miners, based on this cryptocompare.com, I had to review and see what are the miners doing. So profit per month based on these data per month is almost $166. But if you guys look at the power cost in a month is $129 based on current price of Bitcoin, which is almost $60,000. So what does it tell us? It tells us that Bitcoin really needs to get above at least how much it needs to get above the power cost and all the trouble all the miners have to go through to hopefully make some money. They are still paying money out of their pockets. So if we need to have at least Bitcoin doubling in price, so we need Bitcoin to go to at least to $120,000 from current price, almost 2x, to see that this cost might still stay the same, but the profit would double. So that will be profitable for the Bitcoin miners to still keep mining Bitcoin. But would that be the case? Because we are having our rate cuts. Long time ago, I had called and I had showed you guys in Google long time ago that every time usually we have our first rate cuts, S&P 500 crashes almost 30%. Long time ago before we even hit new all-time high for Bitcoin. So I hope it is not the case and we would not see at least for this cycle, because that would completely destroy our bull market. And I want to quickly touch on this video that I had made for my members. I had given them more than 10 new gems and this coin started taking off. It is now 70 cents. Almost, it actually crashed before. When I showed it, it was like 72 cents. But when I called it, it was almost 18 cents. So if you would have bought it at that price, $100, your $100 would have been easily at least $300. I'm just giving you an example. None of my members have to buy any of the coins I'm calling, but these are the coins I am interested in and I'm sharing them with my members. So if you guys are interested to see what we're buying, go ahead and hit the join button. It is right here and it is also on my bio. If you are holding, you guys can click here, see all my links, and you can see the members only link. But a lot of the coins that we are buying, they are for longer term holdings, because we know that still we are expecting accumulation for Bitcoin. If everything goes fine with Bitcoin and this market, nothing weird happens, we should see altcoin season one more time. When we had Bitcoin starting to break above $32,000 and it started getting all these green candles, we saw a lot of coins started rallying, but they have been crashing since all-time high of Bitcoin because Bitcoin does not really show confidence that this market is trustable. And please, one more time, if you are new, hit the subscribe and hit the notification button, and also join our free Telegram group, which I talk about a lot of signals. None of them are financial advice. These are just what I'm looking at, but you guys can see more updates from me on Telegram for free. And please take a moment and hit the like button. So as soon as we are below this red line, I am gonna be optimistic about this market and we should see it start going back down. But we need to see what will happen to the rate Bitcoin and market in general after our first rate cut. And cutting rates are not going to end anytime soon, and they're probably going to do it for almost a year, slowly and slowly. We will probably see something like this, slowly rate cuts and going back down to almost 2%. So I hope that this scenario of bullishness for Bitcoin would still be true, and we will see another higher high for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will not crash because we do not want to see it and we are already tired of waiting. So thank you for watching. Please like the video and share this video with your friends if you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next video.